Bucks.
Might have been. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our show. We're a little delayed because they just posted a code. So keep this window open if you're here. But try thank you Sideshow Con 20. It's either $5 or $6. We're not sure. I thought it was 6, but it must be 5. Must be 5. So anyway, make sure that you are going to sideshow.com and entering that code. Thank you Sideshow Con 20 for a $5 code. Usually only have about 5 minutes to get it in.
$5 is $5.
Yeah.
Say, I was actually lucky Jeff reminded me about a code right before the show, so I got logged in quick, so that's a good thing.
Yeah.
You can get logged in and stay logged in. That's great. That's awesome. Thank you, Sideshow Con 20. That's good. All right. So anyway, how are you guys doing?
Doing good.
Doing good. Good. Well, we're kind of wrapping up the week with Sideshow. I thought it would just be kind of fun to pop on here and just kind of see what everybody liked from the show. I kind of threw together photos of the things that I liked the most, or I thought were, some of the hits of the show. And I want to know you guys' opinion, and also everybody that's watching too in the show, just to see kind of what everybody liked. But I want to just give a real quick shout out to some people that were here before the show. Hello to you. We've also got Michael here. Hello. Michael said his favorites were Taskmaster, Bane, Superman, and Sentinel sets. All very good pieces.
Yeah.
All very good. Let's see. Ben Hizzle says the Batman bust and the Bane statue were my favorite pieces shown. Yeah, it's in. Some people did complain about a lot of stuff was already on pre-order. However, it was the first time we got to see it on the convention floor, which was also nice because studio shots are one thing, or even having it in their Sideshow Live type studio is one thing, but to see it in kind of in the flesh, in person, so to speak, even though we weren't there. So anyway, I thought that was cool. Again, if you're just joining us, thank you. Sideshow Con 20 is the latest code. If you haven't got it already, you probably have just a minute left or so in order to get it. Archangel's here with us as well. Hello, Arc, as always. Let's see, we've got John Metcalf here. Hello, everyone watching for the first time live from the UK. Hey, how's it going, John? Glad you could join us. And speaking of joining us, we just got another member, Dan the Man from Wayne Manor North. Looks like live from his garage.
Live from my garage, guys. Hey, everybody.
Now, wait a minute. I spy something very interesting right off the bat from your little garage setup here. Do I spy some Marvel characters back there?
I thought you might. Yes, I have.
Man, bam, look at that. So we were talking earlier about Dan considering whether he had space for his Marvel stuff in his collection anymore, but I see that you have found a solution, sir.
I do. I have a couple of I moved a couple Iron Man pieces in here, my OG Cap pieces in here. Yep.
They look good.
That's cool. Thanks, man. Yeah. I've got a Cap, can't quite get out of the way of it. There's a Cap movie poster back there, too. From
I see it. Yeah, I see it.
Yeah.
So now you need to put up more cabinets so you can put more statues up.
Exactly.
That's awesome. Did you just get the code?
I did just get the code. Right as I was starting to sign into this, I thought, oh, you guys are going to have to wait a minute.
That's what we did, too. We kind of went on a few minutes late. Yeah, that's great. Yeah, that's awesome. That's really cool. Well, welcome. We were just kind of talking about, we're just kind of do a recap show and say what we liked and what we didn't. And I wanted to see everybody's thoughts in the chat as well. And I have got some photos of things that I kind of thought were the hits of the show, and we'll kind of go through some of those. And there's some things that we haven't shown since our last live show that we did. I think I was the only one on that show. But obviously there's been some reveals since the last time we all talked. This is my 5th time going live this week, which is insane. But I'm having a lot of fun doing it, so it's been a lot of fun. Let's see. We got Louie here. Bane, the 3 originals. Hello, Louie. Welcome. Let's see. We got Andreas. Works for another 5 minutes. He's talking about the code, if anybody did that. Sebastian says hello from Denmark. Nice to see you again as well. Ordering the symbiote Spidey for sure. And I do have an update on that piece as well. We'll talk about that here in just a second. Big D says hello. Got Mark Deal says, hey, Chris, Jeff, and of course, Dan has joined us now. Anthony says, it was okay, not super impressed. Was hoping to see a Val Kilmer Batman hot toy. Thank you for another code in on time. That's awesome. Jeff, you're our hot toy expert. What didn't they tease like a Val Kilmer a few years ago or maybe even last year?
Yes. It's still up to RSVP for.
I wonder if there was like having like likeness issues or something like licensure.
I don't know. Yeah, they had the Robin too.
Oh, the Chris O'Donnell. Huh. Dan Blaster says, hello, everyone. Glad to be on the live today. Hey, Dan Blaster. Glad you're here with us. Timo says, hi from Sweden. Will you get the new Bane? Yep. I got to, right? I've got to figure out which one I like better.
Chris, I heard you respond to a question in Friday's live show. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to participate, but I did listen into some. Sure. And I heard you say that you are definitely getting the Prime 1 Bane. That was the first time I heard you say that.
Oh, I thought I've said that before. Yeah, I am going to get it, but I'm waiting on to see if Sideshow will sell it. I'm really worried about the shipping from Prime 1.
Rightly so.
I'm almost going to guess that that'll be possibly three boxes. I'm not sure. Mm-hmm. But like, just think how big the base is, and then you have to have the Batman that snaps into it. That's 1/3 scale, because I think that's probably going to be that's a separate piece. And then him, I don't know. Maybe it's just 2 boxes. I don't know.
So are you going to have 3 Banes?
I will have. Yeah, I will have 3 Banes. Now, I will say this: the Bane in the Arkham line is always on the chopping block for me. It is my least favorite of all the Arkham pieces. And my first thought was I was going to replace Ivy with him.
Mm-hmm.
But I have a bigger connection to him than I do Azrael. So Azrael's over here, right there. And that could potentially I'll keep Bane and swap out Azrael for Ivy. I'm not sure yet. But we'll see. So there's a possibility of 3 Banes, which I don't need 3 Banes. Especially because 2 of them will be comic book.
If you get the new one and the big Prime 1 and the other Prime 1 you've got and the one you already had, that would be 4.
And I've got the Diamond Select Bane, so I guess that counts.
Man, if that Prime 1 is actually in full 1/3 scale, it has to be massive. It's got to be along the lines of Killer Croc anyways, right?
I think he's going to be right around that same like bulk, the shoulder size.
Bulk, right, exactly.
I don't think he'll be as tall as Killer Croc because he's so kind of hunched over.
Yeah, that's a good point too.
So that makes me happy. I mean that shelf that I built over there, that was specifically built for his height. I can't remember what it is now. Was it like 28 maybe or something like that? Or maybe it was 28, 34. I can't remember. But yeah, it's just like Deathstroke. I've got 2 Deathstrokes. I don't need 2 Deathstrokes.
Right.
But one's a comic, one's a game.
I tell you where I'm really on the fence. I've seen people post, including you, Chris, that now the Scarecrow is starting to ship.
Mm-hmm.
I had him pre-ordered and I canceled.
Really?
I thought, do I need space? Do I need 2 Scarecrows? I really love the Arkham Scarecrow. Do I really need 2? And then I started looking at him again. I thought, wow, he's just so different, so awesome. And now I'm kind of, okay, if I order one piece, do I order Scarecrow or Ivy? And I'm just, the conundrum, the space conundrum.
I do feel like either one could be a standalone piece for you.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, I don't feel like you have to have a grouping. I mean, a grouping obviously always looks nice, but you don't have to do that.
Right.
God, if I was going to pick Ivy, that would be a tough choice. That's a really tough one.
I think Ivy will go really well with Catwoman. I want to put her together with Catwoman, and I probably will end up, breaking and buying the new Harley, the Hell on Wheels, because I just think she's just beautiful. But I think the 3 of them together are going to look outstanding.
Sorry, I'm doing this kind of on my webcam here. Let's see.
Yeah. See, I mean, they just look awesome together.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do.
They do look good. Yeah, I think that's going to be a real tough choice. But, man, I am so excited about that Scarecrow.
You know, that's the other thing, Chris. I heard you mention him too I think you mentioned him on the Friday live stream. You mentioned something about the space that you believe he's going to take. And I've seen him at New York Comic Con. If depending on how you pose him, if you pose him more front to back or even 3/4, he's extremely deep with that.
Yeah.
Like he's very, very deep.
That's what I'm worried about.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like it's going to take up as much room as Croc over here does. That thing is so deep. I mean, it goes to the back of the case.
Does it really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Let me see if I can. I don't know if you can see that very well.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Almost the entire depth.
Yeah. Well,
you know, if you compare like a Joker base compared to his, I mean, it's at least almost a double and a half.
Is your case 18 inches?
I think so.
Must be 18. So I'd be willing to bet the Scarecrow is at least that. Between the sickle and the leaning forward, he's got there's like a positive and a negative side to that. He's got much more presence than it looks like he has in pictures. In pictures, he looks real skinny. Doesn't look like he would command a lot of presence in a collection, but in person, he's imposing looking. Much more so.
Well, I've already come to terms that I'm going to need to build a bigger case. I think I'm going to go again with garage shelving again. They have one like at like Lowe's that's a lot bigger, a lot thicker piece. It's got the only problem is the shelves are like wire shelves, like like a crisscross wire pattern. So right. I'm gonna have to do some sort of like wood top, I think, on it.
Yeah.
But it's just so much longer. I'm gonna have to push my bus out because there's just, I mean, once I get freeze too, and then the other ones, I'm just not gonna have the space.
Yep.
So Chris, why that instead of the gladiator shelving?
The what? What kind?
The gladiator shelving from Home Depot, like that, like I have here. They have many different sizes.
Oh well, maybe. I don't have a Home Depot.
But you have HomeDepot.com.
Okay, well, I'll look into that too. Yeah. I just kind of started looking at stuff I have locally because that's usually what I go do. And we have a Menards here. I don't know if you're familiar with Menards, but they're actually a bigger store than Lowe's, and they have a full working lumber yard. But it's a bigger store overall. And I get most of my stuff from them, but we'll see.
Okay. Yeah,
I'm not opposed to doing any of that. I just want to figure out something that's going to fit, because I'm hoping that eventually there's like 5 or 6 or 7 more premium formats that could fit in the case.
Right.
And this one is just not going to do it. The biggest problem with this one is, though, I'm going to have to reprint that background bigger, which I don't really want to do. But
how wide is that one? Is it 48 or 36? Probably 48.
I think it's 48 if I remember right.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the biggest one that I could, but I think this one I bought at Walmart. Like it was just whatever brand that is. I can't think of the name, but
right.
The biggest one they had. Anyway, let me say hello to a few more folks. CS is from the UK. Hello, CS. Make sure I didn't miss anybody. Colin Paris. I got the rooted Joker hair Queen Studio on order. Your review and the statue are next level. Man, it is amazing. Amazing statue. And a lot of people have said, I watched your review. I think it's awesome. I also can't find that one, so I've ordered the sculpted hair. Sculpted hair one looks amazing as well. I just haven't seen it in hand yet. So I'm anxious to see it in hand. Because I talked the other day about should I get both and figure out which one, but I'm so blown away by the one I have. I don't really feel like I need the other one. Captain Trenchcoat, what's going to do with art behind I think that's what I just talked about. I'm going to have to get a new backdrop. Buzzdog says Lowe's sells Gladiator too, so that's good to know. What's the difference, Jeff, between Gladiator and a regular garage shelving? Is it like more of a system setup?
In my opinion, they just seem to have a lot more options as far as sizes, both in height and width.
Okay.
And depth as well.
Well, depth is definitely something I could benefit from, I think, because I play around with the height with the tiers, so I think that I could do pretty good with that.
I think there's a 4-inch option.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because that's the great thing about this room is I could always go deeper. I mean,
Right.
just push my table and stuff forward.
Yeah.
Bad as Real says Lowe's is the way to go. That's awesome.
On a related-ish, have any of you seen the video that half-fast reviews posted for the shelves he built?
Oh, I haven't watched it yet.
Jesus. Those are the
I
shelves.
I have not watched it. I'm going to give you guys a little teaser here. He is one of my featured collectors here real soon. I'm not sure if he's this month or next month. I think I have like 5 of them in the can. So I'm going to probably do 2 this month, and he'll probably be one of them. So if you haven't seen his collection, he has this massive wall that he built. And like Jeff said, he just posted a video of how-to today. And you know how we love those how-to videos, how to do custom shelving. So
it's beyond my capabilities, but they were extremely impressive. And they're huge.
It's definitely not something that everybody would be probably willing to attempt to do. But if you have any sort of carpentry skills, that's pretty impressive. That's for sure. Colin says, hello from Irvine, California. Been watching you guys for a while now, but first time joining the chat today. Appreciate the content you guys put out. Well, thank you very much. Appreciate you.
That's just 2 miles from me.
That's right. There you go. You guys should do a little room tour for each other.
Yeah.
That'd be cool. Let's see. This Jeebus, the collector, says, question for you guys. I want to stick with Batman pieces, but I'm loving that PF symbiote statue. Do you think that Spidey will stick out like a sore thumb in a 90% Batman collection? Well, I don't know. I immediately thought of Dan there, just like we talked about at the beginning. So Dan has, wouldn't you say yours is an 85%?
I'd say 85% plus Batman. I have a small MCU collection where I have, I guess, 8 pieces plus these few. I got 8 MCU pieces in my collection. They're fairly sizable. They take up 1 corner, and it's just the last bastion of anything else other than Batman. I just haven't been able to give them up. Just love them too much. I still notice them every day. I enjoy them too much. I thought, no, they have their own corner. Let them do their own thing. So I'm not one to kind of mix pieces on a shelf together because that would just make me anxious. But hey, look, I'm having the same challenge. I really love the Superman transformation PF. I think that looks awesome. I want that piece, but I'm like, it's just it's against the rules. Although
it's funny with that piece because I when they first revealed it, I thought it was neat, but seeing it at the con, like I feel like it was one of the best pieces there, and that might not be saying too much because there wasn't a whole bunch of new pieces shown. Yep. However, something about it just like, oh my god, this thing really popped. Just really great piece.
It just for me, it was always as a kid, and that's what a lot of these things, right? They pluck on those what are they call, heart cords or whatever. Mm-hmm. It was always my favorite part of the Superman, either TV show or movie, is when he transformed, right? He ripped the jacket off, and it's always my favorite. So, and I just think they did such an awesome job.
It looked really good.
It did. Buzzdog says, Buzzdog here says, just getting here. Has anybody else got the notification for Scarecrow? We talked about that a minute ago. Friday is the charging, or Thursday night, and then Friday shipping day. So, really excited about that.
Chris, I thought it was interesting on your Friday show when someone in the chat recommended pairing that Superman call to action with the Flash PF. That would make an interesting pairing.
Yeah,
I think it would be phenomenal.
I think so too.
I think it is just perfect. And it reminds me of the end of Justice League. I don't know if that scene will even make the cut with the Snyder cut. I doubt it, because Snyder went on record yesterday as saying that any shot that Joss Whedon filmed will be out of the film. Like there will be no evidence of him, period. So I think we're going to have a very different film in a lot of regards.
That's good.
Which is good. But yeah, absolutely. That Flash, and again, here's the Flash right here, still hanging out. Just the idea of those two with the red and the dynamic poses. I mean, obviously, Flash is maybe a little bit more dynamic, but yeah, I think they would look great together.
Yeah. Are
you getting that one?
I'm not sure. I'm tempted.
Do it. No pressure.
It took a while to find a place for Flash. I found a spot for him, but I'm like, gosh, where am I going to put anything else now?
I know.
Yeah.
Harley Quinn says, hello, Bat in the North. Want to say hello to you.
Hey, Harley Quinn.
Got a fan. Carlos, what's your opinion about Silver Surfer? I'll let you guys speak on it. I've talked about it this week. What do you guys think now that you've had a week to kind of digest about Silver Surfer?
I'm a fan. I pre-ordered it. I think that once you take away all of our preconceived notions of what the Silver Surfer maquette was going to be, and once you ignore the crappy initial video that we got and focus on the studio pictures, that it's a very nice piece. The base, I think, is complex and interesting. The paint is really layered and cool. I like all the star field that's kind of sprinkled into the base. A lot of people are complaining about it only being half the board, but it seems like if you're looking at it from the front, you can only see half the board. So I think that other back half would be lost in the display anyway.
Well, isn't he coming out of the portal? So it's like you wouldn't see
it anyway.
You wouldn't see it coming out of the portal.
Right. Yeah, I'm not sure why people wanted more of the board, but they want more of the board. No, I'm happy with it. And as I mentioned to you guys, I picked up the Gladiator print. The Galactus print to pair with it.
Yeah, that is so brilliant on Sideshow's part. Obviously intentional to have that Galactus kind of like reaching down and have that empty space down below him.
Yep.
That was brilliant on their part. Absolutely. I feel like that is one of the coolest things they've done in a long time. You know, a lot of people said that I've noticed from this con is they said, you know, some of the smaller pieces had that little cardboard backdrop.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Why don't we get that? Why don't we get that backdrop with the art? And I thought that was a great point because it could easily be in an art box. It might increase the price maybe a little bit for printing, those type of things. But I think those are really cool because they tell a story without actually having to do anything with the base or the statue itself, which I like. But in this case, that print, it just helps tell that story a little bit more. It makes it make more sense. So it's just, I don't know. I love that. I love that they did that.
A lot of times Hot Toys will do the back. It's like folded up in the box. So it ends up being pretty big. I think the Arkham video game characters did. Thanos did. And Doctor Strange did.
Didn't they do that for like the Dark Knight, like the one with the table where he had the interrogation scene?
Probably. I haven't seen it. So I had the old Dark Knight figures from when they first did them. So mine did not come with any extras.
They did. I had the Heath Ledger, the bank robber Joker back several years ago when that came out, the first one. And that came with a backdrop, the Hot Toy.
Yeah, see, I think that's awesome.
Yeah.
Of course, some collectors think. Go ahead, sorry.
They did last year. That had a backdrop too.
Yeah.
I just like when they do that. I think it's really, really cool. Ben Hizzle says it would have been great if the Sideshow tweeterhead Michelle Pfeiffer Catwoman statue would have been revealed during Sideshow Con. I can't wait to order this piece. I would have liked to seen her too, but it sounds like August. August is their hopeful date that she will be ready. Some of Tweeterhead's pieces, Chad talked to him this week a couple of times, and some of those pieces are just being kind of fine-tuned, including Poison Ivy. He was hoping to have her ready for the event, but she wasn't quite ready for show. And I'm sure Jeff, you probably saw some photos this week from him. So
yes, I did. As a matter of fact,
yeah, it's looking good. So
it's looking really good.
You guys are going to like her when she's revealed. I know that for a fact. So that's awesome. Yeah. Let's see if I missed anybody. Colin says, as a non-Silver Surfer fan or someone who knows nothing about him, it looks cool. For someone that has multiple Silver Surfer statues, I understand it is a bit simple. To me, it looks elegant. I would agree with that. And I think it was either Jeff or Dan, I can't remember, earlier in the week that was saying that it does come from art. And that's, that inspiration. I think the art had his head turned a little bit, which is really the only difference. But to me, that makes it even better. Yeah, absolutely. Ryan says, hey, at least we have another 6 days of this for Sideshow Online New York Comic Con, which was announced. So yeah, it was announced today that Sideshow is going to do another Sideshow Con at New York in October. It's October 6th through 11th, I think it was. And I think that's awesome. And one thing that I really like about the announcement was that they want to know feedback. They want to hear what people liked and what they didn't. I have a feeling they already know what people did not like. And I'm sure you guys will agree with me 100%, but I feel like 100% they need to film, not live. They need to film the booth tour. They can do like the interactive like request shows live, but I feel like if they're going to show their product, they have to do it more professional quality. Because that's really like, if
they
you
need to spring for better internet or something, because that was just, I mean, everything looked bad.
I think that I was thinking about it today of like what I would want to see different. What would you guys think if they set the booth outside? Like if they did like a outside, so you have natural light instead of, because I feel like the lighting in there was kind of harsh for how they set it up. But maybe if they did like a big tent or something. I know, Jeff, I don't know how often it rains in California, but I know California is beautiful weather most of the time I've ever been there. Do you think in October that's something that they could even accomplish if they did some sort of outdoor con where, again, it would be
October is usually beautiful.
Yeah. So I was just thinking out loud. I thought that would be kind of neat, a different environment. Of course, I don't know how you'd keep people away or, other things like that. I guess that'd be probably the logistics of that would not work, but that would maybe solve the lighting problem. I don't really know.
I like the idea of the pre-film segments, and then sprinkle in the live ones, right? With a live kind of by request, interactive, I'm not sure you have the same expectation in terms of the video quality, although I'd agree with Jeff one, where God, spring for better internet, something, know that you're going to be, using a lot of bandwidth. So anyways, do that. But I also think on the other hand, and I said this earlier in the week, I still contend that it didn't appear to me as though all of Sideshow was all behind this event. It just seemed, I don't know, the production quality was low. The displays didn't seem like they were that well thought through. It just didn't seem like an all-out effort by the company. And maybe that's just my perception, but I don't know. I mean, it was fine. It was a good, it was the first time they ever did it. I commend them for doing it. I like to use, Chris, your term, I tip my hat to them. I wouldn't bash them for doing it, but in terms of, creative critique or criticism, it would be, up your production quality. It's a real opportunity. This is how you're going to get people excited about all the new pieces. And the new pieces are what we're all there for, right? So do something more to feature them. I mean, that Silver Surfer, I think that was the biggest reveal of the show still, right? For the week. Why wasn't that on some really cool center display with the Galactus print with it? And lights, and it just should have been done a lot differently.
Yeah.
It's like it was not even a fraction of the thought that they normally put into it.
Yeah.
Because it was like somebody else.
Yeah. I wonder how Chris, do you have any sense from any of your insider information about attendance in terms of, did they get the attendance and the interaction they expected? Do you know?
I don't know if, if they had expectations. I know like just the shows that I've been in, it seemed like it was pretty well attended overall.
Yeah.
Like I was in the chat earlier in their show and it was like 500 or 600 people in there. And some shows I've seen like, 2,000 or 3,000. So it's just, I don't really know what their expectations were for eyes on their product. But I know like in general, Sideshow really wants to present their stuff in the best light.
Right.
So it goes back to that, maybe that more professional, because like, when Autumn took photos, those all looked amazing. So like, I know it's possible to achieve that look in that setting because that stuff wasn't washed out, but on the live streams, that when I first saw Bane, he looked like ash gray. Like he didn't look like he was painted black at all. And then it wasn't until I think Jam Mint's video, he had a lot better footage.
Yep.
And so then I think once people saw that, they're like, okay, well, some of this stuff looks really good. And so I just feel like it really goes back to that video quality. I think just really put kind of a ho-hum on the week. And then whenever they've done like the little video packages, those look good too. Like those look professionally done. Those look like they should have been. And I think that people would have been more excited. It still goes back to my thought of everything wasn't revealed at once. So it's kind of that drawn out issue, I think. And then also I still feel like, yes, maybe some things were not really thought through all the way, but I also think that some things that were maybe planned weren't available for the show yet because of the way life is going right now. I don't know. But I do feel like all of this feedback is going to be really good for the next show. I think the next show, hopefully, I mean, if it's exactly the same in October, we might, that's a problem.
I feel like if you're going to draw it out for a week and you want to maintain the energy and excitement, that you have to have new reveals every day.
Yeah.
There were multiple people in those chats that dropped out as soon as they said nothing new today. That's just game over. I mean, you've seen everything for, we just saw everything for 7 days in a row. But when there was something new, it was exciting. Even yesterday afternoon, we got to see Black Widow. That was kind of fun.
Yeah.
It was. I mean, I just exactly what you said. Last night, you messaged our group and said, well, I've heard maybe a little birdie said that maybe there'll be some new reveals today. And so I logged in this morning, and within 40 seconds they said there's nothing new today. And I turned it off because I'm like, well, I don't need to sit through another 40 minutes of things that I've already seen. But at the same time, just because, I mean, there might be a brand new collector that hasn't seen all week that just stumbled upon today. So I understand it's probably worth it for them because it's still eyes on their items. But for the kind of the experienced collector, I feel like we could have probably had one day and been good for us.
Yeah.
But Sideshow Con might not be for us necessarily. It might be for the brand new people in the community. But I would hope that it would be for everybody,
I think they should have a schedule when they're going to show particular things. Like today we're going to show things from whoever, like the jewelry, purses, dolls on this end, then Hot Toys one day and Marvel statues and stuff one day, or Marvel
that could have been
Hot Toys one day.
Sure.
But have to sit there through. But the day that they showed Bane, they literally walked past it. We have a new Bane. There it is. We're going to spend 45 minutes looking at purses and jewelry and whatnot. And it was like, I sat through it because they ended up going right past it again and went off. But it was like, well, this was just meh.
Yeah, I definitely have heard some meh comments this week. Ben Hissel, I saw this comment. I appreciate the efforts, but it bothered me that the two ladies doing the videos didn't know basic details about the product being shown. I have to disagree with that. I think Amy specifically did a really good job of knowing her stuff. Did you guys feel that way too? I feel like she really knew a lot about the products being shown.
Sometimes some of the people did, and I'm not sure who Amy is, but some of the times it seemed very like they weren't sure what they were just showing.
It's very
trying to make up stuff as they went.
Well, to me, it was the opposite. It was very scripted. It felt to me that they were reading a product description that someone had.
The one that seemed to know what she was saying seemed very scripted.
Yeah. And I don't know, a more natural presentation by someone who really knows the product might be more engaging.
I think of myself of like, if I was trying to do that, like I wouldn't know, I wouldn't know. I mean, I would know some facts about some things, but I think I tip my hat for them even trying that, because I don't think I could do it live. I think that'd be very difficult. I stumble over myself all the time anyway, so I don't know how they do that. So anyway, let's see if there's any other comments here. Statue Habit 71. Hello, BSC. I display my statues with comics. Can you recommend a Batman comic to display with the upcoming Batman PF? Thanks. I don't know. What do you guys think? Like a Kelly Jones cover?
Yeah, I would think so.
I think Kelly Jones would be good. Look into him.
You know what's sad? I had already forgotten about that piece.
Me too.
Yeah.
You know, that's another thing is like, why weren't those pieces there? Why wasn't Batman Beyond there? Why wasn't the new Batman PF? And I'm sure I'm missing a whole Mr. Freeze, even, you know, he's going to be shipping soon.
They had this Batman, but not the new one.
Yeah.
And that just tells me that the new one doesn't pair well with Bane or Scarecrow, you know, comparatively. And I would agree with that. I think that Batman's more of a standalone piece in my eyes, but they still could have had him there. Like, I just don't, I would think that, or unless maybe those items are selling well enough that they don't feel like they need to show those. I don't know, but
there were a lot of pieces like that. No Deja Thoris?
Yeah, I know.
Really?
That could have been your new thumbnail for this video.
See?
1 million views. I love it.
Two.
Yeah, you're up to 2 million. That's fantastic. That's awesome. John says that there's no Sideshow Susan anymore. That's what's missing. I did miss Susan a lot in this event. I think it.
Yeah, and they had long enough to work somebody into that position. They could have got somebody by now.
Let's see if I'm missing anything. Let's see. I don't think the new Batman pairs well. Yeah, it's just kind of its own thing, and I don't know how well it's selling.
It's like an artist series piece.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, do you guys want to look at some photos and just kind of talk about your thoughts on each one?
Sure.
All right. So we'll start with Bane here again. What are you guys' overall thoughts on Bane? You've had a couple of days to think about him. I know everybody really likes the original, but has this grown on anybody? Is anybody other than me getting it?
I like it. If I can get it, maybe. Chris, I like it better than the other one.
I know you said that. You like it better than the OG.
Yeah.
I think too, when looking at the new line, I think it pairs better myself. But I'm not in the market for a Bane.
Look how tall he's going to be, though. Like, do you think he's too tall? Like, or you think he's perfect? Like,
no such thing.
No such thing. No such thing as too tall.
Remember how crouched Batman is.
Yeah,
that's true. That's a good point. And Scarecrow is too here.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, if you would need to lower him. They're both on risers.
Yeah.
But there's just like my display. I have Batman up higher.
Mm-hmm.
The base I think is really cool, and I do think he looks amazing. Where are you at with it, Dan?
I like him a lot. I mean, if I didn't have the OG Bane, I'd absolutely be going after him. When I put them side by side, at least as of right now, I still like the one I have. I'd still choose it. I know, and again, it's all in the eye of the beholder, right? So I like the pose of Bane. I like him stomping on the bat signal. I like that he's more bulked up than an actual normal human being. It's just, yeah. I like the fact that he's a lot bigger than Batman, but it's just, what appeals to me.
A lot of people have said, since the fact that it's like this one is kind of like almost pre-Venom, and the one that we have is like post-Venom.
That's a good way to look at it.
Yeah. I can see from some collectors' minds that maybe this is, since they are going a little bit more realistic looking, than a little less comic booky. I could see where maybe the jacked up one is a little bit more comic book. I do still feel like he looks great in my collection. I feel like he still fits, even though I have the more modern takes. But I'm excited to get him in hand just to see kind of which one I do like better.
It's funny you mentioned the comic book. I was thinking about that the other day, Chris, when I can't remember which show it was.
105, yeah.
They're all running together. But see, I look at Scarecrow, and one of my hesitations with Scarecrow here is that I think he looks kind of comic booky, more so than the others. I don't know if it's just the over-exaggerated, ultra skinny physique or what, but he just looks really comic booky to me.
Well, look how skinny his legs are. Like it's, it is very exaggerated. Yeah. And again, I feel like the reason why it is that way, and this is just my take, is that he is exaggerated like that because he is what Batman sees. under the fear toxin, because obviously this is not reality happening with Robin coming out of the grave.
Sure, right.
So I feel like him is not necessarily meant to be all that realistic, just because I feel like it's supposed to be kind of like a nightmare version of him.
Yeah,
that's a good take on it.
Does
that make sense?
That's a good way to look at it. Yep.
So I see why he might be a little bit exaggerated. Just the same way, like I feel like, we're talking about the Flash Daniel Bell piece. A lot of people have in my review have said something about the elongated legs or the elongated arms. I feel like it's designed that way on purpose in my eyes, because it's him taking off at an extremely high rate of speed. So your eye takes a second to catch up.
Sure.
And I feel like it's kind of that same idea where there's a lot of thought put into these pieces that maybe are just not as obvious to the naked eye.
Yep, I agree with that.
There's Scarecrow again. He is shipping Friday. I'm so excited to get him in hand. It's so weird though, because he went on pre-order way after Mr. Freeze did. So I don't really understand why.
You wait till you see him in person, Chris, is all I can say.
I am so excited.
The textures and the colors you don't get from the pictures. You don't. He's much more. So actually, there's one aspect of the statue that is ultra realistic in person, is the textures and the colors. It's not all smoothed over. It doesn't look cartoony at all in person. That blade actually looks rusty when you see it in person.
Yeah.
So awesome.
It's really cool.
And he has to be lit just right, because the brim of his hat casts a shadow on his face if it's not lit correctly.
True.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think he's the first villain since the OG Bane. The first new villain. Am I correct? We've of course had Catwoman and
I was gonna say, unless you consider Catwoman.
but I'm talking about original characters that haven't been done yet.
Oh, no.
Mr. Freeze and Scarecrow.
Yeah.
Those are the two newest ones since the OG Bane came out.
Yep.
Which is crazy.
That does seem crazy.
It is, but it's true. Another one I know Mr. Delaney is very excited about. This one was revealed Friday morning. This, of course, is a mixed media premium format. Christopher Reeves. Tell me about it, Jeff.
You know what? I really want to see more. See some studio pictures. I'm hoping the smirk looks okay. It should be kind of a friendly smirk, and I'm not sure if I'm getting as much friendly as I'm getting smirk. So we'll see. I don't know if you have the picture that it's based on.
I don't. I've seen it though, and it's exactly. I mean, the statue itself is exactly spot on. I think maybe his front fist is maybe a little bit more clenched, and he wasn't smiling like that in the photo. So that was Sideshow's take. They added the smirk, which I like.
Yeah, I'm almost certainly going to get it, but and I'm so glad that they did it. But I do want to see more photos.
What do you think of the fact that it's mixed media instead of sculpted?
I think it's appropriate for this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do too.
100%. Is it just a plain black base, it looks like?
It's got the S insignia, and it's in the shape of the Superman insignia.
Oh, gotcha.
It's silver.
Silver on black.
Silver on black. So just
has this gone for PO? Yeah. Has it gone for PO?
Not yet.
No.
So this should probably be very reasonably priced, I would think.
It should be.
It should be. I think that if the fact that it's cut and sew, I think it'll make it a little bit more.
Yeah.
But yeah, it should be very affordable, I hope. But cool piece. There's another one that we talked about earlier, the transformation. I really like this piece. It's really growing on me a lot.
Yeah.
And this is how I would display it if I had it. Like I like this with the fedora.
With the fedora, yeah.
Yeah. I mean the other head sculpt's cool too, but I just love this. I love the look. And it's mixed media too. I think the posable tie, like all of, I mean, just again, it just shows that motion, which is really nice.
For those who haven't seen it that are in the chat, if you haven't, I'd suggest go to Sideshow. They have a great video with the person who was responsible for the cut and sew on this piece, and it's really, really super interesting.
Is that Tim Hansen?
Yes, actually. Yep.
Yeah. I talk to Tim every once in a while, and he is just a phenomenal guy. Really nice, and he does such a great job. I always joke with him because he's known for his capes. But man, this thing is phenomenal. Yeah, Tim is awesome.
Yeah, he actually goes through in quite a bit of detail the process of thinking through miniaturizing all of the actual seams and sewing patterns and so forth that you would use in the life-size shirt or jacket, and just shrinking them down and what that takes. It's really, really interesting.
And I would think it would even be more difficult. Like I think of like a Hot Toys. Like I think of some of the things they're able to accomplish with fabric. Like it is insane to me how they're able to do it. But to me, like whenever you're talking about a 4-scale piece, you have to even be more. I just feel like there's going to be, you can see more of it. It has to look right. Whereas I think with a smaller figure, you might be able to get away with some things. But at 1/4, I think it would be difficult. This is another piece I just thought was great. Of course, Jeff owns this one. If you haven't checked out his review on her, definitely check it out.
It's a great piece. Only 500 of those.
I don't know how she's not gone yet.
I'm shocked.
But all 3 of them looked really good. I'm not as impressed with Superman.
Same with me.
I just don't know. I mean, I do like the fact they did bring up the fact that it was meant to be this way, where you notice like Batman doesn't have one arm here, then Wonder Woman in the middle, and then Superman doesn't have that arm. So I guess it'd be his right arm. And so it was designed that way to kind of look these 3 together. So it does make me wonder if they might not do more of these. I could be wrong. But obviously
on the Superman one, I mean, the classic Superman pose, you need the right arm.
Yeah.
Not everyone is going to buy all 3.
That's true.
So I don't know. I get it with Batman because it's kind of hidden by the cape, but Superman he's just amputated and it just doesn't look right.
Yeah, I can see that. I think it would have been cool to have the other arm.
Be cool too if they sold them as a set, match number set. That'd be cool.
Oh, that would be great.
Yeah.
That would be great. Man, I bet a lot of people would have done that too.
Yep.
I would have.
Yeah, maybe give just a little bit of break on the price, $50 or something. I bet you get all kinds of people into it.
That's a great idea. Why are we not marketing? I wonder that all the time.
Sideshow's taking notes right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got the little steno pad out, like, okay, Chris said this, okay, Jeff, okay, Dan, yep, definitely. Great idea.
I have a feeling that they threw that con together after they heard us talk about it.
Well, we did talk about it pretty early on, didn't we?
That has occurred to me. Has occurred to me. Yep.
Me too. Well, we did mention a physical booth tour, and that's exactly what they did. So, great minds, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
This was another one that just I really like her after I've seen her more at the con, the Harley Quinn Hell on Wheels. I've said I'm going to do a comparison on this one. This one, I keep looking at her like I feel like maybe she might not be perfect for my case, but she might be perfect for a standalone. I'm just not sure. But I got to figure out how to get her in the collection right because I think she's phenomenal. Is anybody else getting her?
Yeah, I'm going to end up having to get her. I just think she's too good to pass up.
I'm in the same boat as Dan.
So Dan, that helps me answer your question from earlier. I think you should get Ivy then.
Yeah. Okay. That's good. Okay.
Because if you're planning on getting her, she wouldn't necessarily make sense to have Scarecrow next to her.
Yep.
But Ivy, I mean, having the sirens together would make sense.
Okay.
Just my opinion.
Yep. No, that's valuable.
Considering the poses, imagine this Harley back to back with that Ivy.
Yep.
Yeah, it would look great.
Great.
Yep.
The Catwoman and Ivy look good together.
Mm-hmm.
I have those two.
Yes. Also, we have the Starfire here. They didn't spend all that much time on her, but I think I really want to see her in person. Did you guys see her in person at all at the con last year?
Yeah.
In New York.
What do you think?
She looked great. I'm not sure that she necessarily looked very much like Starfire, but she looked fantastic. I mean, I'm the classic Perez, New Teen Titans, Starfire. I know she's had more recent incarnations that might look more like this. But the Tweeterhead Starfire is my Starfire.
Yeah, I could see that. But cool piece. It's one of the coolest bases I've seen in a while. I like the again, it's one of those more risky concepts, kind of like the Flash.
Yeah.
It's one aspect of this, Chris, that to me just caught my eye. I mean, other than the obvious, of course, so we'll just move past that. But the paint on her boots, that purple, it looks like car paint. It is really rich, deep. It's got a metallic flake in it. And it is unlike any other finish on any other statue that I've seen them do. It just looks amazing in person. So, and you're right about the base. The base looks that good in person too. So,
is her more modern take this naked?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I'm curious. I mean, it's a pretty risque statue.
Yeah. Yep.
I don't know if that's always brought up, but it's I mean, I find it very nice, but I do wonder about that.
Doesn't seem practical for crime fighting, but
Rarely
on a minute.
Slips here and there, I have a feeling.
Yeah.
This was another line that it's been out for a little bit, but I really like these pieces. I keep seeing them popped up on Sideshow. These are the Noir 6 scale pieces, but I love them. I think
they're cool.
I like these way better than the color versions. It's just I don't know. I just think it's so different and so fun. But for me, this was a hit to see these.
Yeah, they're cool.
Also had the Spider-Man. Was it $29.9?
Yes.
Okay, make sure. I'm not a Spider-Man expert by any means, but I thought this was a cool figure and was an exclusive to the con. Jeff, is this one you would consider getting?
No. I had the advanced suit.
Oh, yeah.
And sold it.
Okay.
Just, I never got it out of the box because I kept thinking, well, tried to figure out where to put it.
Yep.
Then I didn't want to, they were like throwing them out every week, a new one. And I'm like, nah, I'm not doing that.
Yeah, they do put out a lot. This was also shown, I think, maybe Friday. We didn't talk about it much, but this was the Michael Myers quarter scale from PCS. I think this one's really, really great. It's my favorite horror movie.
It's cool.
I'd like to see some better pictures of it. He looks too clean.
Yeah.
And it's probably just because he's washed out.
Yeah. Probably so. Some blood or some dirtiness on his jumpsuit would have been probably more appropriate. This was another hit for me, even though it's not something I'd buy, but it's the Cesar Romero Iron Studios 10 scale piece. I think this would have been a really cool quarter scale piece.
Yeah, it would.
I think they would have sold the hell out of it.
Yeah. Just a lot of fun, a lot of movement, color. But I think the likeness is very good for Iron Studios.
It's great.
Really good likeness. And somebody brought up the fact that he still got his mustache under there too.
Yeah.
Which is exactly the way Cesar Romero did. He refused to shave it for the show.
Hey, Chris, I'm afraid I need to jump, man, but it was great spending a little time with you guys.
Thank you very much. Appreciate you coming on. Have a great rest of the day.
All right, you two guys. I'll talk to you soon.
Bye, Dan.
See ya.
I threw these up here because I thought these were really fun. I don't remember the name of them, like the Sleepover series or something like that. But
at least 3 girls.
Say that again.
I think the 3 girls are like the Sleepover series or something. But I'm not sure about the Trinity up there. That must be a different series.
I think these are DC Direct, I believe. But I think these are a lot of fun. Now that I saw them in person, I'm like, well, I can get behind these. They're cute.
And are they sold as a set or individually?
I think as a set.
Okay.
But I'm sure. Well, I could be wrong. They might be individual too. But I feel like I remember them being offered as a set.
But I love the plant there.
They're fun. This was another big announcement coming from Tweeterhead. I feel like Tweeterhead had a really good show for not really showing much at the actual show. I feel like they were one of the hits of the week. And this was a big announcement that they're doing the Thundercat line. I know that Dave Igo is heading up that line. And so, not only are they doing Masters of the Universe stuff, but also Thundercats as well. And of course, Batman, we all know. So this was kind of their stuff this week. We got a Thundercats announcement. We got the new Poison Ivy teaser, which I'm very excited about. We got the Catwoman teaser here, which I'm incredibly excited about. 1/4 scale maquette. Also, they're going to do a Hordak Minion Legends maquette, which is for the new Hordak. You guys saw that one. And it is, I know Chad said it's doing very, very well. People are very excited about that line. So that's great news for Masters of the Universe collectors, because that means they're going to make more. And I'm really excited about all of those fans, because I know people really wanted Sideshow to continue on with that line. And I know now that Tweeterhead is doing that, I know a lot of collectors are very happy. And then last but not least, we have that art series maquette, the Dark Knight maquette that Jeff and I talked about in our videos. That is only available, I think, through tonight, correct?
It's either tonight or like noon tomorrow. I'm not sure which. I've read both, so I'm not quite sure.
So if you guys saw our reviews on the muddy and clean version, both of those are only available till tonight. And I think this one was tonight, or like Jeff said, tomorrow. But it's a very, very limited edition. And we talked about it on the show. I think it'd be a lot of fun to have all three pieces together with him in the middle. But an incredible piece. And again, just a really great showing from Tweeterhead, in my opinion.
They generated a lot of excitement without showing very much, but it worked.
That's right. It worked very, very well. It did. Yeah. It really did. We also got to see Hawk Girl on display there. I think she looks great.
So will they do a Hawkman to pair with her?
I really thought that they would have one at the show. I really did. I really thought we were going to have a Hawkman to go with her, but we did not see that. But I feel like she is phenomenal. I like her a lot.
It makes me wonder about October and New York Comic Con. How much stuff are we going to see that was meant for San Diego but is late and is going to be shown there?
Jeff,
also, that's only 3 weeks away from Spooktacular, so October is going to could be a big month.
I feel like New York Comic Con is going to have way more than we normally see.
Yeah,
and I hope I'm not wrong. We also got to see this guy right here. I just lost his name.
Taskmaster.
Yeah, thank you, Taskmaster. I know I was watching Jim's live stream this morning with Fee, and Fee made the comment about like how just super big he is and thick he is. So I thought that was really cool for collectors that are excited about this guy. Has a lot of presence, that's for sure.
He does. Not something I would buy just because I'm not very familiar with the character, but they appear to have done a great job on him.
Yeah, their video that they showed him really made that piece look good compared to even their professional photos that they've done.
Yeah, looked really good.
The cape looked like the white is a leather textured material.
You can kind of see it here. It's kind of got that. I don't know. I think that's exactly. I'm sure it's pleather,
like a grain,
but like a white pleather, like that, and it's dirty.
Yeah,
it looks good. It looks really good. I think this piece is awesome. But again, I'm like Jeff. I don't really know the character.
Yeah.
This was a reveal yesterday. They did have some, I think, 3 new reveals for Hot Toys collectors, and these were ones that actually Hot Toys teased and showed us. It was really weird because it came out like, was it Friday night or I think Friday night, late
Thursday night or Friday night.
I can't remember. I thought it was a weird time.
A bunch of figures.
This is one of them. Jeff, you clicked on
4 o'clock show yesterday, I thought.
Okay, maybe so. But I mean, we got to see photos first. Like the photos came out, and then they said that Hot Toys actually delivered these, and it was kind of like a surprise. So, Jeff, you're a Hot Toy guy. What do you think of this one?
Here's my gripe with this Black Widow and the Endgame one they just released. The material that they are doing the suit out of is like a printed rubberized material. It actually has no hardware on it other than the black belts and that thing. And I going with the sculpted hair and that plastic suit, it just looks like a 1/6 scale Marvel Legends figure to me. I'm not. It doesn't even tempt me.
I've noticed. Again, I'm not a Hot Toys guy at all, but I noticed that a lot of people were saying that they've really gone to less rooted hair on these figures.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that?
It's okay, but if they're going to do that, at least go back to the actual material, because the Black Widow from Civil War was an actual material with different panels of different kinds of material, and parts of it were raised, and it was just a real suit rather than printed plastic.
Oh, I see.
And it just seems very cheap to me.
I do think the head sculpt's very good.
I think the head sculpt looks good, and the in-game one and this one, they look really good. But after seeing what they've done with the suit, nah, I'm good. Especially not for the price.
What surprises me, getting away from Hot Toys for a sec, considering the success that Iron Studios had with their quarter scale pieces from Endgame, why aren't they doing a Black Widow? I mean, that would be incredibly popular. A quarter scale Black Widow just seems like a natural.
Well, maybe we just haven't seen her yet.
I hope so.
It's possible. Stay tuned for new work. I don't know what Spider-Man this is. I should have looked it up before the show. Do you guys know anything about it?
If it's a video game, if it's from the Spider-Man video game, or if it's a comic book.
I don't know.
I am not sure.
He did have kind of like a Dr. Octopus base, which I thought was cool. But just another, it seemed like they've done a lot of Iron Mans, a lot of Spider-Mans.
He seems to be stepping into the Iron Man slot for number of variations.
Then we also got a Taskmaster from the new movie.
That looks good.
I do think it looks good. Definitely a different character that we haven't seen before, which is always nice.
And it's a villain. They have not, will he actually be produced? They are notorious to show them at cons, and then the villains are never put up to order.
Interesting.
And is he actually a he?
I think it's a she.
I think it's a she.
I do. Yeah. I've always thought that. I don't know for sure.
It's a she.
Yeah. So that's cool. I mean, it definitely has a slimmer body.
Mm-hmm.
But this was another big hit for me. I know some of us have this on pre-order, and I just wanted to show it again. The 1/3 scale Joker from Iron Studios. Very excited about this piece still.
Me too. Looks really good. I think I've only got a couple of payments left.
I know Jeff really likes this face, and I really like the torn face. So I'm excited to see them in person. This is the base. One of my favorite things about it is the low profile of the base. Mm-hmm. It just goes to show you that you can do a 1/3 scale piece with a very small footprint.
And one good point that you made is that the portrait that you like is more pointed upwards, whereas this one is kind of downwards.
Yes.
And I'm planning on putting him on a lower shelf, so that is kind of an impactful thought to me.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Very similar to the Prime 1 Bane.
Right.
You have to display him up higher to be able to see his face.
Right. In
my opinion, but that's just me. I thought this Killer Croc was really great from Iron Studio. I said earlier in the week I wish it was quarter scale. This would have been an awesome premium format reveal from Sideshow. I would have loved that. Because I like the Killer Croc a lot that I have, but I would like something with a smaller footprint.
For 1/10 scale, that looks pretty darn cool.
Yeah, love the base on it. I thought these were fun too. I did a video not too long ago. We had a guest review for some of these Hot Toys Cos Babies. I thought they were fun. Great, affordable pieces. And they're just cute. I love this one. This one's definitely cheaper than the one I just bought.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I like that.
but I love these. They have a Nicholson one. If you haven't checked out the videos, like last week, I think I put it up. Check out the Cause Baby because the collector had all of them all together, and it just looks so great together. But I thought these were a lot of fun, and they're kind of like Funko Pops. But I actually think I like these a little bit better.
That one's
They have
hilarious.
a little more character. Each one actually, they're different. It's not just the same head.
Yeah,
Yes.
I agree.
They're all
They
very
have character.
but they're fun. Again, from Hot Toys. Fun. This was another big reveal this week, the symbiote Spider-Man. There some controversy with this piece. It has this big seam line on his bicep. And I have read that Sideshow has said this week that will not be there by the final product.
Right.
So if anybody's worried about that and kind of trashed it because of it, Sideshow is going to take care of it, which I thought was a great statement by them.
Mm-hmm.
And because otherwise it's a fun piece. It had a really great base on it.
Yeah.
Really
I think it's really well done. I'm not in the market for a symbiote Spider-Man, but anybody that's a fan, that's a really nice piece. And the base is really detailed and very, very cool.
I deleted the photos of the base. I'm sorry I don't have it for you guys. But yeah, the base is incredible. Really neat. Oh, there's another Hawk. I had her out of order. So there's another Hawk girl. The Rancor was shown at the show. I know George over at MCE is getting this piece for his new Star Wars display. This thing is just I loved the Rancor as a kid. It was one of my favorite Kenner figures. Eating the Gamorrean guards, eating their heads off. And this even has like a little Gamorrean guard skull down here in the base.
All right.
But I thought this was a really fun piece for you Star Wars collectors. It's a big piece, though. It's a big piece.
It's huge. Too big for me.
Yeah. And then, of course, the child was on display in a I'm going to say it again, a photo op opportunity for the display. But it was funny. They changed it up the second day and took all the props around him away. And I think added some pine cones and stuff. But he looks great. And I hope he looks as good in person as he does here.
I was hoping we'd get to see a production piece on him, but it didn't happen.
I was too. That means I would assume he's not shipping anytime soon.
Right. I agree.
Two-Face reveal. I thought he looked really good. I had the OG Two-Face back in, 2008, 2009 from Hot Toys, and they've come out with the second version. I think he looks great.
He's been out for a while. He was a con exclusive last year.
Oh, okay. I think I remember that now. You're right. I won't spend much time on him then. We also had a new con exclusive Iron Man. This one's kind of like I don't know what they called this one, but it's
hologram.
Hologram. He's got like clear. He's got metal parts underneath, but clear parts up top. Oh, this one looked good.
Yeah, it's nice.
These were kind of fun too. I thought. I'm trying to remember. Are these Hot Toys or are these some another company?
Iron Studios, I think.
Okay, I thought these were fun, and you can actually post kind of like thick dolls, but they're.
No, they're not Iron Studios. They're something else. Egg something's in the name.
Okay. But I thought they were kind of fun. They kind of remind me of like those old animated. I'm trying to think of the name of them. Like kind of like claymation, kind of, but I don't know. I thought they were kind of fun. This was a giant
last Christmas cartoons.
yeah, like those. This was a hit for me of the show. I think that this was a phenomenal display, and we've talked about it on the show this week of $6,000 or $7,000 worth of product here. But oh my God, if you can afford that and have the room to display it, this is pretty awesome.
It's a collection unto itself.
Yeah,
it really is, and it's completely customizable. You can display it exactly how you want it.
I'm tempted just to pick up the Blob. He's awesome.
He is awesome. He is a really cool piece. These were another showing this week, and I can't remember what they call the line, but these, especially these three ladies, are probably the start of this line. I think they all looked really good. I know it definitely got some buzz from collectors. I know, Jeff, you kind of like these.
I like them a lot. I'm not sure if I like them enough to buy them or not, but I think all three of them actually all four of them are extremely well done. But I'll just have to wait and see what the price is like. I don't know why they wouldn't commit to a scale in the online show. I mean, I think everybody knows they're 1/5. But yeah, they're very well done. I'm glad that they're doing them.
What would your wife think about this one right here in the middle?
She would not appreciate that.
That one you keep in the closet in the corner.
And I think you can see a switch out head on the ground there in front of
right
the Slayer. Or not the Dragon Slayer, sorry.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And I just kind of quickly chose these photos, guys. If you want to check them out, go to sideshow.com. They have, I think, like 700 photos posted. So you can see all of these in a lot more detail.
Sideshow Originals.
Oh yeah, yeah. Thank you. Batman Beyond, I thought looked good. He's a skin from the game. Hot Toys again, 6 scale figure. And I threw these guys in because I thought these were really fun. I know a lot of buzz about the alien bust. These are legendary scale, 1/2 scale statues.
Wow.
I thought they were pretty incredible. They looked massive for being 1/2.
Yeah.
Big pieces. You can only imagine how big Predator and Alien is. My last photo here, again, they announced today that Sideshow Con will be October 6th through 11th. So I'm very excited about that. We talked about it earlier on in the show. Just kind of our thoughts about how they can improve, how they can make it a better show. I think we all kind of agreed at the beginning of the show that just having professional cameras in there, professional cameras showing off the footage, off the products, and then going in with the live streams for the more interactive comments. If you guys notice this show is 720. Yeah, it is not meant to be, polished. It is meant to show comments from Jim Mint Collectibles right there, So, hey, Jim, how's it going? It's meant to have it's meant to be that way to be interactive. But I think anytime you're showing off product, I think it needs to be higher quality.
Agreed.
Well, do you guys have a favorite of the entire show as we kind of wrap it up here? Do you guys have anything that you're buying for sure?
Silver Surfer and the Galactus print are the two I'm buying for sure. I seriously might buy the Blob. I think he's a really fun little piece. The Chris Reeves Superman.
Have you ordered Silver Surfer yet?
Yes.
Nice. So let me ask you a question about the. You mentioned the Blob. Do you have any other 10 scale pieces?
I have a Hulk piece from Infinity War that might be 10th. I'm not sure. It's the one that pairs up with Hulkbuster. But that's it. That's the only. Actually, what was the scale on that? Tony Stark, that was the convention exclusive in San Diego last year, where he's standing. Was that 10th? I have that too.
But the Mark 1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those are on my desk.
That's what I was curious about is I really like the 1/10 scale stuff, but I collect 1/3 and I collect 1/4. Yeah. And so I don't know how I would display it. Now I feel like with my white shelves that I have, I feel like I could really do a 1/10 scale collection if I wanted to. But I do wonder how collectors are able to pair those because I think most collectors probably watching, they're probably quarter scale collectors. I would think a lot of them. And I think that's probably, in my opinion, that's still Sideshow's core base, is that quarter scale collector. But obviously things have changed, times have changed. I still always feel like I don't know if I could display something so small next to something so big. Mm-hmm. Do you worry about that in your collection, or do you just I'll just put it right here, I don't really care, I just like the figure?
I personally have the same concerns you do, and so since I only have a few 1/10 scale pieces, I just have them on my desk by my computer. They're fun to look at while I'm working or just surfing the net for something.
Sorry, I'm just reading this comment. So Eggheads was the name of the.
Oh yeah.
The Egg Attack. Sorry, Egg Attack. Yeah. It's like TVs. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Yeah, so much money for the X-Men Dio. Yeah, that thing is incredible. Are you guys surprised about no X-Men premium format reveal?
Yeah. It's
got to be just a not ready in time thing. I can't imagine that. I mean, there were 3 or 4 the last 2 years.
Yeah. I do really feel like, you know, if you're just joining us, and we talked earlier in the show that I feel like there's a lot of things that were in motion for this event, and I feel like a lot of it had to do with things just not being ready. I know for a fact that Sideshow always wants to put on their best show and get people excited about their products, and I feel like there were some of those. But like we said just a bit ago, I personally really hope that we do have a really exciting showing at New York Comic Con, or whatever we're calling it, Sideshow Con New York, I think is what they're calling it.
Mm-hmm.
I never saw them cancel New York. Did they officially cancel it? They must have.
I don't know.
I don't know either.
Yeah, I don't know. One thing that occurred to me with this show is nothing new from Will Harbottle. How can that be?
Yeah, very surprising there.
Yeah.
Also no legendary scale reveals. None of that.
Mm-hmm.
I know that they said that they were going to show Prime 1, and we didn't see Prime 1. I think that could definitely be a shipping issue or getting the timing right, possibly.
Nothing from Blitzway. They always have Blitzway at their booth.
A lot of people have commented that they really focused on a lot of the other companies and not their own stuff this year, which I did feel like was surprising. But at the same time, it made them appear to be the hits of the show. You know, it made like Iron Studios. I feel like Iron Studios especially made a very good showing there. And also like Tweeterhead wasn't even at the show, but again, we talked about how they really made a big impact this week. And with just those little teasers. So overall, I think it was a lot of fun, even though it was maybe not quite what everybody expected. But it was still, I mean, gosh, I went live 5 times this week to talk about it. Like, we've had a lot to talk about, a lot of hopeful things that we wish that we saw. And maybe, now we're going to start doing the same thing for New York. You know, is there something that you didn't see this week that maybe you hope is in New York?
Yeah, X-Men Storm.
Ooh, that'd be good. That'd be good.
And then things that we already know about. I want to see a production piece of Deja Thoris.
There you go.
And many other pieces that, you know, we already have on pre-order but didn't get to see at this show. I also think that if we're going to have kind of a light presentation of new material, why make it 7 days? I mean, the con itself is only 4.5. You've got 3 hours on preview night on Wednesday and then Thursday through Sunday. They should have matched the hours of an actual San Diego Comic-Con and started it on Wednesday night. And then it wouldn't have been as drawn out. We wouldn't have had these days, nothing new. I think that would have been better.
So your recommendation, if you were going to recommend to them for New York, shorter event, more new pieces, obviously, and higher production quality?
Yeah, and something new each day.
Like a featured item at least?
A featured new item.
Yeah.
Or at least the revealing a production piece of something we've already seen as a proto.
Okay. Less stuff that's been out for two years?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. How about you, Jeff? Number 1, anything else you would maybe recommend?
I think that they should put a little more thought into the way they're displaying them too, because it just seemed like some stuff was just thrown together. It wasn't set up to show it in the best light or the best way.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. A lot of people are in the chat saying things that they would like to see. JJW says Beast, Nightcrawler, Iceman, and Storm. I think all of those would be awesome. Nightcrawler always seems to be kind of this will Disney not type thing. With some of the characters they've done in the past, I'm surprised why Nightcrawler gets some flack, I guess. He's a religious character, right? I mean, is that the main thing, or that he's a demon-like character? I don't really know.
From what I've heard, and again, it's only rumors, it's just that he does have a demonic appearance, and that might be scaring Disney away from allowing that to happen.
But the character is a religious character.
That's true, but you're looking at a static statue. It's if you don't bring along all the baggage of the movies and the comics, all you're seeing is a statue of what looks like a demonic figure. I don't agree with it, but I think that's the rumor that I've heard coming.
I never thought it looked scary.
Considering how many near naked women they just showed.
Couldn't agree more.
Yeah.
That makes no sense.
Yeah. We did
John,
get the tease of the XM Beast this week, so that's promising.
That looks good. John, speaking of XM, John Metcalf says, do you think Sideshow will do a Batman Who Laughs as XM are busting their own 1/4 scale line? I was shocked that we didn't see a Batman Who Laughs in any form. He is so popular right now. I know it's hard to touch the Prime One piece in my eyes, but I really thought we would get a premium format. I actually thought we would get a premium format of him before we got some of the villains. I was shocked.
That was my number one prediction.
So who's going to get to it first?
Several.
Sideshow.
Well,
didn't XM show their?
Yeah, I mean they already have a render.
Yeah, because it has wings.
Spark Extractor says, I'd like them to show their entire DC line in one room, all the old pieces and new together for one epic display. That would be awesome. Same for Marvel. And I can't remember who said it earlier in the show, but yeah, have a Marvel day, have a DC day, which
Star Wars. There was no new Star Wars stuff except for Hot Toys.
Yep. I really couldn't believe we didn't see a Mandalorian quarter scale.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But again, that might be more New York. I don't know. It's hard to say, but man, I tell you, I think a theme day would be fun. Maybe they're worried that if they do a theme day, that maybe if I'm not a Star Wars fan, I won't tune in. But as a collector, I would anyway, because I want to see the new stuff. I don't care whether I buy Star Wars or G.I. Joe or anything else. I want to see the new stuff. I don't care what it is.
And why not at least show us the switch outs? They never showed any of the switch outs for the pieces that they did display.
I was really surprised. I thought maybe like, okay, well, we're going to show Bane today, and then tomorrow we'll show the swap out head.
Yeah.
I was asking for Hawk Girl switch out every day.
Yeah, which is a much better portrait.
Sixth Mansion Collectibles is here. What's cranking? Hello, new channel. Definitely check him out on YouTube. It's awesome.
Welcome.
Juan says, what do you guys think about the Wonder Woman OG PF? It is $50 off and free shipping. I am from Spain, so that's a good deal for me. Is the new one worth $300 USD more? I like both Wonder Woman. I think they're both. I'm assuming he's talking about the one with the staff behind her, right?
Yeah.
I think that's a great piece. I probably like the new one probably better. I don't know.
After seeing them both in person, I like the newer one better, but that's just my opinion. It's good. It has the Alex Ross vibe, the original one.
Yeah.
Some people think the original has more of a warrior princess vibe, but I did prefer the newer one and sold the older one. Actually, I sold the older one in anticipation of the Prime One New 52 Wonder Woman that didn't come out the way I wanted, so I didn't buy that one and ended up buying the new Sideshow, which I'm very happy with. Some people think she's just too beautiful. I don't know, or not as warrior-like as the original, but I like it a lot.
Archangel says he prefers the OG way better. I like that piece too. It's a lot. The only thing that maybe bothered me about it was the way her foot was positioned on the base. I don't know. Something about it kind of bothered me a little bit, but I liked the piece. I think it's a good piece.
One thing I'm not crazy about with that piece is how the costume is just so clearly painted on. There's no texturing to differentiate between her legs and where the costume starts. So it looks a little cheaper than it could have if they put a little more work into it. Yeah.
PJ Hido says a new Red Sonja to go with the art print, ? Sideshow loves Red Sonja. I'd love a new Conan. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how you top that last Red Sonja, but it was I think all of them have been good. But I really that last one was really good, I thought.
Yeah, but they pulled out of 3 of them. Why not make a 4th?
Yeah. JJW says I ordered the Prime 1 Red Sonja. That piece looks great. Also got the original Red Sonja from Sideshow Collectibles. That Prime 1 piece is phenomenal. It is 1/3 scale, right? I think it's 1/3.
Yes.
And man, it's beautiful with the dragon or snake or whatever it is. It's nice.
Yeah.
Let's see if I miss anybody's comment here. But anyway, overall a fun event. I know it wasn't everybody's cup of tea, but I've said it all week that I'm still thankful we got anything at all, because it definitely got us talking, and it took our minds off of some things for the week, and provided some entertainment value. So again, I definitely tip my hat to Sideshow. I do hope they listen to the feedback about the production quality. I think that'll really help, because people want to be wowed and they want to be excited, and when it's live stream quality, it just doesn't cut it, in my opinion. And I think a lot of people, that was kind of their number one nitpick. And maybe like Jeff said, maybe it was just a little too long. So I'm excited. I think the October event will be a lot better. I have a feeling. I think they'll listen to the feedback, considering they asked for it. So that says a lot to me. But anything else you guys want to say before we wrap it up?
Well, I just hope we're all on the convention floor in San Diego in 2021.
That would be awesome. That would be awesome. Let's see. Where did that comment go? The block says, I wish Sideshow would have told collectors that under the current circumstances, this year's reveals won't be what you're used to. They hyped this up like it was an amazing event. Just be honest.
Yeah.
I could see that.
That's fair.
I think that is fair. Just to say, we wanted to put on the best show we possibly could. Under the circumstances, bear with us. I think just that little disclaimer, I think that maybe people would have been a little kinder. Because I know that some of the comments this week were pretty brutal. I know that some of the comments were directed at the artists, and they were pretty brutal. But sometimes I've said it on the show too this week that I feel like a lot of pieces collectors just need a time to digest. Because expectations, like you said, Jeff, number one, it was so the build up, the excitement of it all, and then whenever you don't get what you want, or the expectations aren't there, you immediately want to go on the defensive and say, like, I hate that piece, or I hate this, or I hate that. But obviously, Silver Surfer, especially, that kind of went up and then went down, and like, okay, now people are kind of like, okay, well, maybe it is a great piece. And
I thought it was beautiful from the start, but it's just something that I can't get. But I didn't see a thing wrong with it. Even before I told who sculpted it, because everybody's like, now everybody loves it because it's Daniel Bell, and it's like, no, I thought it was just pretty. It was just a very well done, beautiful. I thought he looked very majestic. The half board made sense to me. You wouldn't see a lot of action coming through a portal. So.
And it suggests movement.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bow Hiker says, definitely not what we expected from Sideshow, but agree with the BSC's comments. Still very thankful for anything. Also enjoying these live recaps. Thank you. And thank you to everybody that's joined in live. Thank you for you guys joining me on the show, Jeff and Dan. It was a lot of fun this week. I would like to go live more often. I had so much fun talking with everybody. And I love how interactive it is. Sometimes we don't always get to as much interactive on Rogues Gallery Live because we're having a conversation. But I really have enjoyed this a lot, and it's kind of felt like Rogues Gallery Live today anyway, with all you guys together. But it was a lot of fun doing these live shows, and thank you everybody that's tuned in all week. I think just about every video this week has had over like 2,000 views. So I know you guys are watching, and I thank you guys so very much for that. That's awesome. Alvaro says, Jeff, did you get your Sideshow framed print discrepancy resolved?
I was just typing a reply back to him so I can say it. That'll save me some finger work. Actually, there was a sticker on the back of the gallery that frames it. So I Facebook messaged them, and immediately they offered to redo it, which I thought was amazing, and it's what Sideshow should have done in the first place, rather than a week, because I started last Monday, contacted them several times, emailed, messaged, always, it's past 30 days and there's nothing we're going to do other than let us reach out to the framer and see if they will take care of it for you or just anything.
Right.
Which I thought that was great.
I'm just, do you know the name of that company?
Yeah, hang on. Well,
okay.
Let me see. I think I have a picture of the thing on the back.
Let's give them a plug because they frame for Sideshow and
yeah, they said that they have framed everything since they started prints. Parker Jordan,
and they're in California.
They're in Southern California. They said that they were less than an hour away from Sideshow.
Okay.
Because the guy offered, he said, I'll gladly redo it. He said, I'll send somebody to come pick it up. And I was like, okay. I don't think he'll come pick it up, but I'm in Tennessee. So and he said, we'll just ship it back and we'll do it. He said, we'll just do it over.
That's cool.
That's awesome. That's really good.
Yeah.
And hopefully your situation is, something that's not happening to everybody, I hope, with that print.
He did say that because it's huge. I think it's like a 42-inch print. And he said the Alex Ross prints have like triple the amount of ink that a normal print does. He said it makes it a lot heavier, which causes it. Plus, he was saying that it's pretty common in California for people to have their prints redone like that every so often because of the humidity.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I can see that.
But it was it was nice that somebody offered.
I don't know if you want to say this, Jeff, but Willie Neblett says
Chattanooga.
Oh, Chattanooga. That's cool. He's in Nashville, he said.
A good tip for folks, though, is if you hit that Sideshow brick wall of you're beyond the 30 days, if you really feel like you have a legitimate complaint, always escalate it to a manager. I was successful doing that with my Electro PF that started to lean, and I ended up getting a full replacement only because I escalated it to a manager who handled me right away.
I think they should have done something. I think they should have at least offered to try to do something since it was $600.
Yep. Even if it was $50, they should have done something.
Yeah, that I kind of expected them to say, we can't do anything, but we will do like they do if something's broken.
A credit or something toward, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's always it's frustrating to hear that because I always feel like customer service has always been really good. And I feel like overall, like 98% of the time it is. So I'm just sorry that you had to deal with that, but I'm glad that at least something good came out of it.
Yeah.
And you can get it fixed. So that's awesome. That's awesome there. Let's do one more quick question here. Yakatek said, this is a question for anyone. I have my first Sideshow piece arriving in October. I won't be home from school to open it until December. If something comes broken, am I going to get screwed? Yes. You're going to want to have somebody open it and check it if it's possible. You can always have it. You can change your address to wherever you're going to be and have it delivered there. You just change it in your account. But I would check it. I'm always amazed. Like it's crazy to me. Yeah. When somebody posts in the group, it says, well, I got this 3 months ago and I'm finally going to get around to opening it. I'm like, what? I open it I'm like opening it as it's being delivered off the truck. Like that's me. I don't know how anybody has the willpower to not do that, to not open it up right away. But in your situation, highly recommended because like Jeff said, you have 30 days to return it. And so, I absolutely 100% would try to have either somebody open it and check it or have it forwarded to where you're at. Don't you guys agree?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
for sure.
Extreme Channels here. Hey, how's it going, Mr. X? Nice to see you. Absolutely. And T. Mitchell says, Jeff, Secret Sanctuary. I was able to order my muddy version Dark Knight today. Thanks, Chris and Jeff, for the review. Yeah, thank you very much for watching. That was awesome. I cannot believe how many people from our videos said, hey, I ordered this.
Oh, good. It's a fantastic piece. Either version.
I know Chad is probably very happy about that as well, because he's very excited about the piece. And I can tell you right now that our reviews were 100% honest, because it is an amazing piece. Like it is a whole new level for Tweeterhead, and I'm so happy for Tweeterhead collectors, or even if you're not a Tweeterhead collector.
Yeah, a Batman collector.
Yeah, just a Batman collector in general. And I love, and that's why I think it'd be so cool to do all three, because they're so different. Like it's the same sculpt. You're not getting any different sculpt, but unless you get the regular. The regular, you're not getting all the pieces. But the blue next to the brown, it's so different.
And the different bases.
Yeah, different bases. So very unique. You can see me. I can see you. Yep. Hello. Nice to see you. I'm assuming you were in one of your 17 statue rooms that you have, Mr. X. Not jealous at all.
Still waiting for him to buy us some houses.
No kidding. Jeez. I'm so jealous of his space. That's all right. That's all right. It's been a week of jealousy. I was jealous of Jim at Sideshow. Oh, I still hope one day that we get to tour that place, because literally Jeff's next door, again, knocking at 3 a.m. on the door, trying to let him in.
I'm 70 miles away.
Yeah.
To be precise.
That's next door.
Oh, man. It would do. If I'd been that close, I would have thrown this print in the car and open this damn door.
Extreme Channel says he's on the toilet. Now I want to know, Mr. X, if you have statues in your toilet room.
He was on the toilet for Jim's show this morning.
Hey,
toilet, dude.
Man, he must be eating some bad tacos or something. What was I going to say here? If you guys think that we should get a tour of Sideshow, give a thumbs up to this video right now. Just hit it. Jeff, Dan, Chris, the whole team, Mac. Let's go to Sideshow. I'm ready. I'm ready for the tour. I'm ready. That would be so cool. It just did you guys catch the full 3 building tour that Jim did?
I did. It looked really cool. How about that conference room?
Oh my gosh. My favorite is that room. It's just that big long hallway with there's just so much stuff. I keep thinking if I worked there, how terrified I would be to walk up and down the halls. Everything's open. There's no, it's all exposed.
Yeah.
A Statue Doctor says Jim's tour was great. Yeah. If you haven't checked it out, it's very cool. I've seen, I think just as in general, we see these, glimpses of that building, but to see so much of it in one video, I think he's probably the first person to ever get to do that. I think
probably
because I know they're usually their buildings kind of pretty secretive. So
yeah. Well, he mentioned this morning that he couldn't shoot anything that showed a window because that would expose outside, and I assume that's because they didn't want to give any clues as to where they're located. I'm not sure. Maybe so.
I know he also said he didn't get to see any prototypes, so that would have been cool to be able to see those too, but obviously works in progress. So let's see. Stuart Murray says, evening, gents. Sorry, I just tuned in. Did you chat about the Reeves Superman PF? Yes, we did. Jeff Delaney is probably going to get it.
Yep.
He wants to see some more photos of it. That's not one for me because I don't collect Superman.
Some better pictures of it. But somebody asked earlier in the chat about the material holding up. I've got the Hot Toys, and it looks as good as it did new. You just have to be really careful because that material snags really easily.
And collectors ask me this too. Have it in a temperature controlled room. And I think you're going to be fine. If you leave it out in the sun, in your dog's house or whatever, it's not going to hold up well. But if you have it in a nice controlled room, I think that fabric and the capes and everything else should hold up pretty well.
It seemed to hold up well on the OG Superman and Batman PFs.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I just sold mine and I didn't have any issues whatsoever. I've still got my Joker back here, no issues.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have any problems. Bo Hiker says I like the blue backgrounds on the DC statues and red for Marvel. Yeah, I love that too. It was really cool. Just neat. David says I had to practice Mr. X's hashtag restraint on the Dark Knight regular version. Already have the muddy version coming. That's cool. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Stuart says, I have, an exciting time. Their cut and sew materials are usually really hard wearing as long as you treat it well. Yeah. Yep. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And he says, the great thing about Scotland is we don't have to worry about crazy heat. Yeah. Middle of Kansas, boy, do we.
Mm-hmm.
Boy, do we.
Well, I mean, even in the summer when I moved, the figures that I had, I put them in a tote and kept them in the house so they were not in a storage unit.
Right.
To get hot, because I knew they would get too hot and the plastic parts they just would be destroyed.
That was my scariest thought, because whenever I moved last year, I had to rent a storage unit and put all of my statues in there. And they were in there for, I think, about a month, give or take. And geez, it scared me so bad, but everything was fine. Everything was fine. And it was, Kansas, it's 100, 105 degrees every day.
Wow.
So it's a dry heat, so I don't really have to worry about the humidity much, but hot.
It gets humid here in the summer really bad.
Oh, I bet it does where you are. Absolutely. Colin R says, Chris, did you decide which version of the Queen Studios Bale Batman you're going to get to pair with the Joker? I am probably just going to get the regular. I think for my channel, getting the Bale head sculpt would probably be a better thing to do, but I just don't need it. I don't need the Bale head sculpt. I don't think I would ever display it without the mask on, especially standing behind the Joker. What do you guys think? Do you think I'm a fool for not getting the Bale head sculpt?
I wouldn't.
No.
Every Batman figure I have has an alternate head sculpt, and they are never been used.
Yeah.
Yeah, the exception for me is the Prime One Justice League Batman. I do use the mask portrait quite often, and then I switch around Samurai Batman quite a bit. But other than that, and if that portrait doesn't appeal to you, or the thing with you, Chris, is that you tend to keep stuff, so you don't have to worry too much about resale value as far as getting maximum, for your purchase. So I think you're fine.
Like just thinking out loud while you guys are talking about that, like I feel like if there was only be one ever like unmasked Batman portrait for a movie that I would ever get, would be maybe a Keaton Batman, where in like Returns he rips off his mask and it's like kind of like got the rubber still on the side and his face is kind of bloody. I think that would be a really cool unmasked portrait.
Right.
But you hardly ever see him just walking around without his cowl on.
Do you know what my problem is with the Justice League Batman? I told you before that, that was in San Diego last year, and then I looked at it for 5 days. It had the unmasked portrait, and so that's what appealed to me about the piece. It's very moody. He's obviously very pensive or troubled in that portrait. He's looking down, and it does tell a story.
Yep, absolutely. Well, we've gone almost 2 hours. Sorry for keeping you guys so long. I figured this would actually be our shortest show, but it went pretty long today. Thanks everybody for tuning in. I really appreciate it again. And again, I thank Sideshow very much for even having this event. It was a lot of fun this week. Some highs and lows like we talked about earlier, but I feel like there was a lot to get excited about. And I'm even more excited now for October for New York Sideshow Con, because I think that they will take everything that was maybe not so good about this one and fix it for the next one. And I'm really excited to see, because I feel like we're going to see a lot more new pieces there than normal. I feel like New York, you always get like only 1 or 2 or 3 new pieces because they just showed everything at San Diego. I feel like it might be flipped this time. Obviously more time, and hopefully they'll have more time to get stuff prepared and ready. And I don't know if the world's going to be any better of a place by then. Probably not. I don't think anything is changing anytime soon, at least not where I'm from. But I'm still very excited about that event. So anyway, Jeff and Jeff, thank you for joining me today. And Also, Dan, thank you for joining me earlier as well. And thank you to everybody in the chat. I really appreciate you all. And I think, I don't think, let's see, Rogues Gallery, I don't think is this week. It'll be the week after. I might go live on Wednesday. Maybe we'll see if I'm bored or not. And anyway, thank you guys very much for tuning in. I appreciate it. And we'll see you guys in the Batcave next time. Bye, everybody.
See you guys. Take care.
Happy Sideshow Con.